skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard. It's the beat of the mic, beat of soul and like everybody else alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. Motherfucker, he knows the code.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing? It's a pleasure speaking to all of you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. This is going to be an incredible time for you. And I want to start with my story. But one thing I always do, I'm going to do all the talking. You guys say yes and no. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. Awesome. As she mentioned, we came to Canada back in year 2000 with literally $4,000. We lost everything, and I remember I was just 13, 14 years old, and my father got a job just going and cleaning offices. And while all the teenagers were going actually, partying on the weekends, till 4 a.m., I went and I was working with my dad, just trying to make the ends meet. And you know what? In my mind, I knew I didn't come to North America for that. I came to make something happen. And that same kid, now in the past 12 months, has made $2.5 million using this platform and took my family's life to another level. Every one of you can have the same story. Remember something, none of us want to be seen at the bottom, but yet that becomes our story. Yes or no? Yes. You gotta enjoy the journey. So let me share quickly a little bit about the story of where I started with the business. So I had a background of system engineering. And you know what? I quit engineering. I made a decision back in 2009 that I'm going to come in this business and I'm going to do WFG. I left my parents' home. I'm the only child of the family. And you know what? I quit engineering. I quit my job. I went full-time with 2 credit cards, $5,000 each. I moved out and I started. And my own mother said, you know what? You're leaving our home. You're starting this business we don't approve of. You're quitting engineering. How about we don't talk to you for the next 6 months? Let's see you have any support to make anything happen. If you heard my story, you asked my mom today, she says, I told Dave to do WFG. When you make money, whether it's your mother, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your brother or sister, the perspective changes. Say yes.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
And you know what? I gave it everything I had. I worked 4 months, 5 months, and I went to the last dollar of my money. My credit cards, I was paying this to that, and done. And I never forget, one night, it was a cold night back in 2009, I got to the last $20 in my pocket. And I remember I went down to get some food, and there was this homeless guy sitting there, and he was shivering. If you heard my story, this is what happens, because you don't know how close you can get to success before you turn around. And I took that $20, I gave it to him, I said, go get a hospital. And I came up that night, I had cereal and I didn't even have milk. I was nervous, I was fearful, like many of you might be. But you know what? I had a proud feeling in my gut because I had given it everything I had. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Everything in my power. And I want you to write this down. Many people never give everything they have to this business, so they leave that little room, so if they fail, they can say, I could have done it if I gave it everything. Never leave a single bit of room. And you know what? I woke up in the morning, I got a call from the office that I was working in, and I went there, and that day, they handed my first paycheck of $5,400. And my life changed from there. Does that make sense? Yeah. Every one of you can do it, but I want to start with something. Negativity. Do you think my own mother didn't love me? Why was she giving me negativity? She was reverse prospecting me. She would call my friends and family and say, hey, Dave started this business, don't support him. Seriously. Like you wanted to support you, she was doing reverse. But I want you to write down, at the beginning of the business, you gotta vaccinate yourself and vaccinate your associates against negativity.
Really successful trick.
And you get negativity from the closest people to you. You know why? It is not that they don't love you. It is that they are projecting their mindset onto you. My mother was telling me I cannot do this business, so therefore you shouldn't do this business. Does that make sense? Go talk to your friends and family who are entrepreneurs, who are successful, and then see what they say. They will say, go crazy at it. Give it everything. Because they see themselves being able to do it. So they give that to you. Yes or no?
Yes.
Louder, yes or no?
Yes.
Understand that. And make sure you're letting your associates know. I'm going to spend some time with you. I'm going to give you some tips to become successful in this business. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
I tell you something. I want you to write this down. Entrepreneurs are not born. Entrepreneurs are developed. Entrepreneurs are worked on. They work on themselves to become entrepreneurs. The biggest reason why you don't become successful in this business is because you decline and you reject the idea of changing and converting your traditional mindset that we're all born with to an entrepreneurial mindset. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I need you to understand the only way to success in this business is to change your mindset to become an entrepreneur. And I want you to write this down. I always say this. Real education is not going to classes, is not reading books. You could do all of those. Real education is training your mind to think in a way that will profit you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Training your mind to think. Entrepreneurs think differently. Write this down. Success is the result of thinking in a certain way and in a different way. Yes? Yes. You can write down and say yes? Yes. Understand that. That's the kind of education you want to have. And I want to share this with you. Hey, you heard 90% of our business is mindset, yes? Yes. 10% of our business skill set, yes? Yes. Which one do you need?
Mindset.
Both. You need absolutely both. But there's a difference. If you don't have the skill set and the mindset, you need both. It's like a pilot that needs fuel in the plane, which is the mindset, and needs skills to be able to take off. Yes or no?
Yes.
With just fuel, can you take off?
No.
If you don't know how to.
Exactly.
So I want you to write some things down. I have a few minutes, I'm going to go through it. I start with skills. Hey, as much as you try, remember, running this business and building this business requires skills. Prospecting, approaching, inviting, closing, presenting, yes?
Yes.
But you see, exactly all skills, it's like I want to start playing piano. As good as I start, write these down. You need these things in building skills. Number one, time. Give it time. You have to be patient to build skills, yes?
Yes.
Number two, master of all skills is repetition and practice. How do I become good at playing piano? Practice, 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 yes?
Yes.
And number three, you heard this, I call it growth concept. Let me share this with you. If I want to start playing a sport, if I want to start playing piano, if I want to start doing this business, as much as I want to get good, right at the beginning, I'm going to suck at it. Yes or no?
Yes.
We will all suck at anything we want to start with. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then I work at it for 6 months. Do I become good?
Yes.
No, I become very bad. I go from I suck to very bad. Yes or no?
Exactly.
And then another 6 months, and I become bad. And then I become okay. And then over years, I become good. And then very good. And then excellent. Yes or no?
Yes.
So as much as you try, you're not going to get to the skills that I've attained in 12 years because I've been practicing for 12 years. Yes? But all of you can do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then next thing, that's where you need the mindset. So skills take time to build. Yes?
Yes.
You need consistency. Remember, it doesn't matter if you brush your teeth very hard once every 2 months. Your teeth will still fall off. Yes or no? Write this down. It's not about intensity. It is about consistency. It's not about intensity. It is about consistency. And then you need the mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the mindset that gets you to go through the up and down. It's the mindset that holds you here until you give the time to build the skills. Yes? Remember, playing piano is going to be hard. I'm going to get tired at one point. But if I have the mindset, I'll stay. So skill set takes time, but can you build the right mindset very fast? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
I'll finish with this. Listen to me. You don't need to write this. We have 3 stages in our life. Our childhood, yes?
Yes.
Amazing time, no stress. And then our adulthood. And then our old age. Everyone agrees?
Yes.
I want you to give this business 5 to 7 years of everything you have. And I promise you, you'll go back and you relive your childhood for the rest of your life. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great convention.